Minecraft is a game where you place and break blocks, so how could a game that simple be one of the greatest games ever made? I've played this game for most of my life, while growing up just at the start of the 2000s. And with my first games ever played, like New Super Mario Bros. On the DS, or the original Donkey Kong on the arcade machines at one of my neighbor's house. At the time, it was simple to just pick up a game and play it, until Christmas came around. That time was when I got one of the most groundbreaking consoles. Well, at least at the time. For me. Not really. The Nintendo Wii. This changed everything. Now games had movie DVD type discs, and they were so easy to scratch or lose. And for a young kid, this task was almost impossible. Yet, as soon as I put that first game in, Super Mario Galaxy, it opened my eyes to this whole new genre of games, with movement like this I've only seen in cartoons. And then the barrage of new games, left and right, with parents who knew exactly what you would like at the time in terms of game type. Well, most of the time.
Game over!
It was almost magical going into Super Mario Galaxy, then seeing him on another box cover with that familiar red cap for a game called Super Smash Bros. Brawl. And being thrown into a world with all these brand new characters like Link or Kirby, who have their own games. It was crazy to think how they all have their own worlds and other characters with different plots, and the icing on the cake being the Subspace Emissary. Seeing all these characters interact to achieve a common goal and fight to the finish, this changed me with my whole concept of storytelling and character development, and it even affected how I played with certain toys at the time. Yet, life with games just opening up, there was a whole other category that I missed that Christmas day when I was so quick to open and plug in the Wii. A box that would not have its realized potential until many years later, the Xbox 360. A few years later, I would venture into quote-unquote mobile gaming. And big, and I mean big quotation marks on that. But it still existed, with games like Jetpack Joyride, Angry Birds, Temple Run, and Kick the Buddy, all on one single tiny device like my iPod. I thought it was impossible, yet it was sitting right there in my hands. It was just a quick, simple gaming experience, only to last a few minutes, yet could definitely be replayed as long as you had the patience to do so. Until one day, I was going to a little family meetup with my cousins, who were only a few years older than me at the time, had their iPods sitting on the couch. They were all trying this brand new game that just came out. Clash of Clans! Level 10 Town Hall moment. But they were also playing this new other game that was brought out just a few months ago, which was Minecraft. This type of game was so strange to me. There was no clear objective or story. You just expressed your imagination. And as a fairly young kid, I didn't really understand it that much until later due to my love for Legos growing up. But after downloading the game, I slowly understood what was to come of this little Pocket Edition world. I spawned on a beach, and that was where I would spend most of my time. Since the Pocket Edition wasn't very big at the time, the world border was fairly small, so I didn't have a lot to work with other than a big few chunks of land and a small island pretty far away because I didn't really notice it until later. I had absolutely no idea how to play the game other than to move, mine, and craft, which in a different sense are the essentials to this game. I managed to build a 2-story house out of sand and wood. Even after that, I had 0 wood because I mined all the trees on both islands. I finally found a sapling in one of my chests and slowly brought the population back on a small island which I dubbed Tree Island. Then, one of the greatest discoveries in the game for me, like a caveman discovering fire, a creeper I was running away from nearly blew up a hill right next to me, and I got 3 cobblestone. After thinking about this now, it's insane how I got so far without it. I slowly progressed up the chain with making discoveries like iron and redstone, then digging all the way down to bedrock looking for diamonds, yet to no avail. We also decimated the entire animal population, so there was really no coming back from that. Yet, the world remained. I built the sand house, I remade it entirely out of glass, and had things in that house that made very little sense, like a surveillance area, computer, and a kitchen, with other things on the big island sprinkled in, like a diner and a big tree house. And that's where that book closed. I occasionally still played, making castles and all that other stuff, but I slowly drifted away from it. And then, just like that, I moved away. This really hit home for me because at that time, or growing older, I really only had a few friends in elementary school, and I mostly talked to family. Until after that summer, my house was finally built for us to live in, and I began to go to the elementary school. But everyone already being in school for a few years made it hard because everyone else at that time already knew each other. So when I talked to people, I talked about plenty of things. But the one thing I always found myself going back to was gaming. Yeah, I know. I'm a gamer. Which, then I began to make friends while talking about it. And everyone at that time was getting into different games as well within consoleware. I've only heard that name once, which was the Xbox 360. That day, I did as many things so I could make enough money to buy Xbox Gold and one game. There was only one game I knew. Minecraft. Playing it with friends and with a controller was such a grand experience for me. Even if I didn't have a mic and I would just yell at my TV, it didn't change anything. We always played games with maps such as Cops and Robbers, Spleef, or parkour maps we would create for each other. Or different pranks we would pull on each other just to get a laugh. It would be experiences I'll never forget. Even if I don't talk to some of them today, I still talk to a few of them, and these experiences will never leave me.
We need to, Ruben.
Give him some carrots or something. I don't know.
Give him something.
No.
Kill him.
Yo,
No.
Come on,
You're
come
okay,
on,
you're
please.
okay.
Please recover.
No,
Please.
You're okay, Ruben. No. You're okay.
No.
You're okay. You're okay.
No.
No! Don't go to the light, Ruben! No, please!
During school, people also hated this game, as well as making fun of people who played it, yet it never fazed me. This will be the game that always made my childhood, and I'll never forget that. As the years went on, I began to expand my horizons with different games, which would go on to enrich the plethora of games that I had played over the years, giving me an original taste in games in terms of what I like and dislike in a game. Yet, in the back of my played games would always sit Minecraft. A few years later, I would find myself with my brand new PC. I just saved up for it in my first Minecraft account, which I've been reinvigorated by the game, and I find myself playing it all the time. If it isn't experimenting with new builds, playing a survival world, or just messing around with friends or being on servers, this game will never get boring to me. Something that always made this game interesting to come back to was the community itself. While growing up, I loved going on YouTube to watch content creators like Sky Does Minecraft, Your Pal Ross, or even the burning trash heap we used to know as Team Crafted. Even the bad parts were funny to laugh at, like Futuristic Hub.
This is Minecraft, a game where you have to build, explore, and most importantly, survive. Sounds like a dumb game to me. What did you say about Minecraft? Minecraft is dumb?
They had such charming and funny personalities to watch some of my personal favorite series while growing up, with some of them such as their Cops and Robbers series, normal survival Let's Plays, or just their try not to laughs. And the best thing is their fan bases grew up with them, such as YouTubers such as Call Me Carson and Jay Schlatt. They're my personal favorite to watch currently because you can tell what inspired their style of humor, and how they invent new ways or memes in the community to keep it active.
Hey Carson.
Hey, what's up? Hey, someone's at your door.
Hey man. Oh yeah, another one?
Such as one of the biggest fan content ever created for Minecraft was SMP Live. This server had content creators join and interact with each other, as well as bringing old content creators back like Scott is Minecraft or Ant Venom, which brought back to the community to full steam, as everyone either wanted to play Minecraft again or watch their favorite streamers. Even with different parts of the community, such as creators of the massive amounts of parodies like Captain Sparkles, or the tons of fan animation of either the game or content creators, the community just never got stale. Other than some of the terrible memes, good lord. Minecraft as a game is such an inventive idea in itself. Even if it has been done before, just not to this caliber. The game's creativity aspect cannot be matched. Even with mods, nothing can beat the vanilla game, especially with the beautiful score from C418 that knows perfectly when to chime in. When you don't even realize it's there, and once it ends, you want it to play again, and just give you the perfect dose of nostalgia with the perfect chimes and melodies that stay with you forever. And thinking about them after a long time with all those charged memory-filled thoughts, it almost makes you shed a tear. You can make the most creative build design on earth, or just a lonely green top, yet have the same experiences with the game. After seeing my old build designs and comparing them to my new ones, I've realized how much I've grown up. With designs of things I would never use that would fill up my old houses, or almost empty houses meant for function, only with a place for me to store items and sleep. It shows how over time one's creativity can be worn down, yet if you want to have the most creative house imaginable, you can. But if you think about it, what would be the point? The point of Minecraft is not to complete the game, but it's about the journey to get there. So the more time you take on builds that mean something to you, the more time you'll take to reminisce about them in the future, with the fun times you had building them, or the creeper that came and blew everything up and you had to take extra time to fix it. This is where Minecraft's quote-unquote ending comes into play. Minecraft's ending is about godlike beings talking to you. As they speak, they reference that Minecraft, or the game, is essentially a dream, and the player, aka you, needs to wake up and experience the bigger dream that is life. When you go to sleep and dream, you can sometimes remember the entire dream, or just tiny snippets of it, such as Minecraft. When building a house or making a farm, later on you remember seeing them after their completion, and some tiny steps throughout the way, but maybe you can remember the whole thing, and that's what makes it special. You can play through an entire world and fight the dragon at the end if you rush through it very quickly. Yet, if you take the time to experience what the game has to offer, and just take in the little things, like having pets or building your first house after spending a long time on it, you have a better experience with the game, such as life itself. Even if the game gets stranger and stranger with upcoming updates with new blocks that sometimes make very little sense to its player base, this game will remain the same in my heart. For the game that I played when I got sad just to relax, or the game that I played to have fun with friends. It is a game that makes me feel happy whenever I play it, no matter the circumstances, and it brings me back to a time when I played those different consoles, which rests on my shelf today, and my old iPod, which I've yet been able to find. A time when I still kept up with my family, no matter how they've changed. As I grew up, Minecraft stayed the same. As my game taste changed, Minecraft was always in the back of my game libraries. And as I had problems growing up, Minecraft was there. Of course there was the occasional update, but the base game never changed. It was just as simplistic and fun to play as always. It made me feel like I was a kid again.